Hello guys, welcome back to another live stream. Today we're going to be talking about, Charlie Kirk's whole thing with the DEI. I'm going to be giving my own opinions on it, and I'm going to be talking about it because a lot of his, quotes get taken out of context, or people don't fully understand DEI. One of those two things. But actually, give me a second, guys. One moment. I'll be right back onto the camera. Actually, here we are. This is what I needed. But yeah, so we're going to be talking about DEI. I hope everyone has a great Tuesday. And yes, my lip is busted. I'm pretty sick. I'm getting over a cold right now. So I don't want to hear any of that, oh, your lip, la-di-la-di-la, your third grader comments. What's up, Ryan? How you doing? Are you new to the channel? Yeah, guys, just slap that like button, and we're going to be talking a little bit about DEI. Good MAGA morning. Hell yeah. How can anyone be against MAGA? Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Independent, whatever you want to call yourself. How can you be against MAGA? They don't even know what MAGA stands for. All MAGA stands for is Make America Great Again. It's really that simple. Make America great again. It's not hard to understand. I don't understand how people can be against it. It's such simplicity. Not to mention, a lot of these younger Democrats don't even know that, Donald Trump wasn't the first person to even make MAGA. He didn't invent MAGA. He just took the slogan from another president. Let's educate some of our users out there. Does anyone know where the term Make America Great Again came from? I'll be waiting for some answers, and I'll confirm you guys. Well, we're going to be talking about Charlie Kirk and his, DEI comments and how they were taken out of context. And unfortunately, they were used even during his lifetime to try to slander him. And especially after his death, they try to slander this man for his comments on DEI, even though Charlie Kirk did more for the black and brown community than, 90% of the Democrats out there watching this. You could even argue 99.9%. Good MAGA morning. I like that. That's pretty funny, Ryan. But let's wait for some people to get in here, and then we'll have the full conversation. Let's wait a minute or two. I never Googled it, but I think it was Trump. No, it was under Ronald Reagan. He was the man that, created Make America Great Again. And Trump was a big fan of Ronald Reagan. So Trump went and took the slogan, and he ran with Make America Great Again. The older people, people in their 40s and their 50s, they know all about Ronald Reagan and his Make America Great Again slogan, but if you're around my age, you might not know exactly where the slogan came from. So I just thought I would educate some of you guys on some very simple stuff, especially if you're a Trump supporter. It's some important information to know. How's everyone out there doing? He is no different than Dems. How am I no different than Dems? I'm pretty different than the Dems. But why does everyone call them Dems? Can we call them Demo-rats? Can we call them something else? But slap that like and subscribe button. And once we get to about 100 viewers, I will start talking about the whole Charlie Kirk DEI situation. But I hope everyone out there is having a great morning. Morning, Tom Pepin. I'm here to talk about Charlie Kirk and his whole DEI situation. I learned a lot of information watching his debates and hearing him talk about it and researching facts that I didn't know before. I recently did have a debate about DEI. It was with a black gentleman. Shout out you if you're watching this. You're a very nice guy, and I appreciate you coming on my show. But some of the things you said are basically saying all white people are racist, which I very much disagree with that. I know I just have a white man's perspective. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Okay, I'll tell you guys one more time before we get into the DEI thing. I am sick. The reason my lips are dry and broken at the end is because I'm sick. So please don't continue with your, I mean, you can continue with them if you want, just continue with your third grader insults. I already remember coming into, the second and third grade with cracked lips and sick, or in middle school with a pimple and 12-year-olds screaming, herpes, herpes. I mean, I've already experienced your third grade insults before, so I really don't care. You can comment that all you want. I'll just ignore you. Anyway, let's get right into the main subject today. Charlie Kirk's DEI. Well, hold on one quick second. But Charlie Kirk's DEI, everyone knows the situation of what he said. Everyone wants to bring up the comments he said about, oh, if I saw a black pilot or a woman pilot, I would question if they were qualified. Well, first thing I got to say about that is, there has been literally instances where they have, what's the word for it? They have lawsuits against airlines for, hiring. Everyone will say, oh, they had the same certification. They have the same certification. Having training and having, the basic necessities to fly, the basic knowledge to fly a plane is completely different. First off, there has been many lawsuits against, pilots that were DEI hires, and they simply did not have what it took to fly some of these airlines, and they were, the qualifications and the regular qualifications were lowered just to meet racial quotas. That's exactly what DEI is. It's something used to make racial quotas. Look it up. There's been many lawsuits against airlines talking about how they lowered the normal qualifications to become, an airline pilot, just to get more black and brown women in there. And I forget the name of the airlines. I don't want to say the wrong airline's name, but there is an airline that said they need 50% of their new pilots to be black or women. And, they also got sued for literally hiring people that don't have the same, qualifications as their previous pilots. DEI is inherently racist. People don't need to be hired based on racial quotas. They can be hired for their skills. But if you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, drop some super chats, smash that like button. I even had this debate with this black gentleman from Florida. He said if it was up to him, he'd rather decide on his own who's qualified for the job or the business that he's doing. He'd rather, decide himself who's qualified and, hire them, etc. But at the same time, he said, oh, DEI, if you're against DEI, you're racist. But he also admitted that DEI is probably not the best way to go about this to get rid of racial discrimination in the workplace. I mean, there's already laws against racial discrimination. But let's be honest, if there's a black and there's no employees, a brand new business, and there's a white man and there's a black man, and they both have the same qualifications, oh, this is the exact reason we need DEI. Hello, I am. Good morning, good morning. I'm sick, guys. I'm sick. That's why my lips are cracked, etc., etc. But DEI is inherently racist. Didn't earn it. Didn't earn it. Now, what if we use DEI in the NBA? 75% of NBA players are black. And that's because black people are more skilled at playing basketball. We can even talk about how in the 1960s, black people weren't even allowed to play in basketball. And now today's basketball is 100 times better and more skilled. The best basketball player of all time was a black man. So why should, certain businesses, and why should the NBA, well, the NBA doesn't use DEI, but for people that want DEI to be used in every company, why should we use DEI in the NBA, for instance? It's more than obvious that a certain group of people are better at certain things and certain skills. That's not just racist. That's not racist. That is just facts. That is just facts. Hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Let's get to 20 likes. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything you'd like me to talk about, you can drop some super chats. I'm fully up to listening to whatever you guys want to talk about. Listen, I don't care, not all businesses use DEI. Another interesting thing to point out is the companies that do implement DEI, it's normally, from what I've seen in the last 10 years, mostly under, Democrat, extremely liberal, left-wing politicians. For instance, I believe Facebook, aka Meta, used to have a DEI policy. As soon as Trump got into office, they took away their DEI policies. And that has nothing to, that was nothing to do with the federal government or Trump. It might be now because they have more options and they're not being influenced, and U.S. aid money is not going into, funding DEI programs. But black men are skilled, they're intelligent. They can get jobs, they can get all kinds of work without DEI. Black and brown people, women, gay people, trans people, bisexual people, whatever your DEI thing is, disabled people, whatever, they can all get jobs without necessarily needing DEI. There are plenty of jobs in the United States. Anyone can get one. It might not be your dream job, but your dream job isn't meant to be easy to get in the first place. And DEI there's been many lawsuits and studies about this over the years. DEI is only encouraging people that are unskilled or don't meet the same qualifications as everyone else to join the job and join the company. Didn't even earn it. I understand there's racial discrimination. Even with DEI, I would argue it's not getting away from that. DEI is literally encouraging people to hire more black or women people. That's racism. Instead of ignoring racial status and sex status and work, we're encouraging bigotry and racism. The same thing that the Democrats and the left-wingers will say that I'm encouraging by talking about this right now. Which is super ironic because you're pushing for a majority black or woman in the company. It's going against anyone else that doesn't fit into your DEI standards. And government shouldn't even tell business owners who to hire. Which I understand DEI was not really forced upon businesses. From what I understand, DEI was, there was incentives given through the government. There was funding for certain programs given through the government. I don't ever think it was, a federal law for certain companies to hire DEI. Some black companies will never hire white people. Some Mexican companies will never hire anything but Mexicans. Now, there's laws against this, but even if DEI was never federally forced upon companies, there was just financial incentives for it. And, if we did enforce it, that would be against probably the Constitution, but I'm not a constitutional lawyer here, but I would probably guess that would be against the Constitution. Slap that like and subscribe button. If you guys have any comments, questions, anything you want to talk about, drop some super chats. I appreciate you. I appreciate the positive comments. And to the negative ones, keep on hating. I'm just going to ignore you. I have the right of the First Amendment to say what I want. And all these people that didn't like Charlie Kirk are going to say, racist, racist, racist. How many black or brown people did you hire or help throughout your life? How many Hispanic women, how many women in general have you given jobs to or hired? Charlie has active over 1,000 employees. That's 1,000 families that are under him. He's created black and brown leaders in the community. But guys, please spam that like and subscribe button. And drop some super chats for any questions about, DEI, Charlie Kirk, or whatever you want to talk about. We can talk about it. Like I said, it's not federally enforced. The reason companies are doing DEI hires is because under Biden, there was money set aside for, benefiting certain companies that did enact DEI. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but if that's 100% correct, but I know for a fact there is money, there is incentives, financial incentives for companies to use DEI. That's 100% factual. But it was never federally enforced by the law. But DEI is racist. Can I name some of the programs / incentives? I mean, I can look it up. I have my computer right next to me. But if you guys want me to look it up, if you want me to tell you more about, the programs that fund DEI, I know one of the programs was USAID. That's one of the programs. But if you guys want me to answer these questions more in depth, or if you have any questions or comments or anything you want me to talk about, drop some super chats. I'm an open book. I can tell you whatever you like. And hell, maybe one of you guys wants to see me do 300 to 400 push-ups. Drop a $20 super chat. It's America. I can say what I want. The Titanic sub was a DEI hire. That is another fact. The submarine, I forget the name of it, that went underwater a couple years and those billionaires died. The person piloting it was a DEI hire. Nothing here is rage bait. Hell yeah. Smash the like and subscribe button. I can give you my opinion on DEI all day. All day. My whole life, the truth is rage bait for the Dems. All you do is rage bait. I got bad news for you, brother. There is no rage bait here. The truth is rage bait for the Democrats. Ricardo, what does DEI stand for? All you do is rage bait. There's nothing here that's rage bait. We want Trump in 2028. DEI is a racist practice, and Trump was right about everything. Wake up, America. DEI didn't earn it. Apparently that one guy doesn't even know what DEI stands for, because I literally asked him, what does DEI stand for? This is not a troll. This is not rage bait. This is 100% serious. The entire country loves Donald J. Trump. Well, we got one Democrat out there that knows what DEI is. Colt, 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 Colt. Why are y'all so scared for Trump in 2028? Viva Vox. Trump has the highest approval rating of any Republican president in the last 60 years. And that was after the Epstein fake story. And now, Trump, his approval rating is even going higher after the whole Charlie Kirk incident. A lot of people like what he, did for Charlie after his passing. R.I.P. Charlie. Once again, Democrats, you can be as mad as you want, but this is not trolling. This is not rage bait. We care about everyone's death. I see a lot of comments pouring in, a lot of comments pouring in. Smoking on DEI packs, Dems. RL as fuck. That's an interesting super chat. Thank you, Al Capone. If I got hired because of DEI, I wouldn't take the job. No kidding. That is a fucking insult to your intelligence and your qualifications. I wonder if they tell people, hey, the reason we're hiring you today is to meet our racial quotas for DEI. So thank you for joining. And thank you for helping us reach our DEI quotas. Like, dude, imagine a company telling you that. That is so fucking embarrassing. R.I.P. Charlie. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. I had to come on here and speak up about this DEI situation because it's ridiculous that everyone wants to twist Charlie's words about, oh, he's a racist, he's a bigot. He was nicer to the black and brown community when he spoke to black and brown people, black women. I've never seen someone as nice as him in the political realm talk to, black women and children, brown women and children, as kindly and as nicely as he did. Not to mention he gave black and brown people jobs. Not to mention some people that he met, they needed medical equipment. One woman needed medical equipment for her father. She said, don't worry about it, Charlie, don't worry about it. The next day, he sent an oxygen machine and some medical equipment to her. He's been helping the black and brown community since day one. To say because he disagreed with DEI that he was racist is pathetic. And everyone out there saying I'm bigoted, I'm racist because I disagree with, DEI is ridiculous. I've probably done more for the black and brown community than you guys. I'm not saying all of you, but I've bailed, black and brown people out of prison before for, non-violent criminal offenses that I thought were pretty unjust. And I've also helped them in many other ways. I've helped black and brown homeless people. I've helped, countless people. Hold on, guys. I gotta blow my nose. I'm pretty sick. 1 minute. I'm back, guys. Smash that like and subscribe button. If you guys have any comments, questions, anything you want to talk about, I see the comment section going like that very quickly. Just drop some super chats. That's a great question. Am I a Democrat? Very intelligent question. I'm a Christian. Let's get to 50 likes, guys. 50 likes. I am seeing hundreds of comments. Like I said, guys, I'm an open book. If you want me to talk about anything specifically, just drop some super chats. I have no problem with answering any kind of questions you guys might have. I support the majority of Trump's policies. Holy rage bait? Nothing here is rage bait, brother. Super churches make, billions of dollars. Churches take, donations all the time. Everyone needs, financial resources. So I have no clue about, your dumb comments. What's your opinion on Destiny? I'll actually answer this question for free. Destiny is disgusting. He's admitted to having CP on his phone. He's called for hateful actions and violence against people. It's disgusting. Not to mention, I debated his ex-girlfriend on here. She's apparently a Trump supporter, but we really don't agree on too many things. Also, I saw she got arrested, supposedly on Twitter. Supposedly, what's the word for it? Not supposedly, but what's the word? Not supposedly, but it maybe happened, maybe didn't happen. But on Twitter, they're saying she got arrested for stalking Action Man. Allegedly, she got. Allegedly, Destiny's ex-girlfriend, that's also a MAGA Trump supporter, allegedly, she got arrested for having, drugs in her car after she pulled up on the streamer Action Man, which I've talked to her before on Discord. We've live streamed together. She's an absolute wacko, in my personal opinion. And I do possibly think that she was on drugs or substances. Allegedly, don't sue me. I know she's a lawyer. Don't sue me. Allegedly. You can't sue me because I'm using the word allegedly. But from allegedly, her face looks like it has, a bunch of, it looks like someone that's, scratching their face a little bit from, possible substance use of, opioids or meth or something like that. I have no idea. But that's Destiny's ex-girlfriend. Not to mention I never even said her name, so she definitely can't sue me. Do you support the Constitution and the First Amendment, freedom of / from religion? Theocracy, religious government is unconstitutional. I don't think religious government is unconstitutional, but I'm not a constitutional attorney. We were founded on somewhat of a religious government. A government that supports freedom of religion. Also, yeah, I do support the Constitution and the First Amendment and freedom of / from religion. That's literally freedom of religion, so I would argue that, it's a religious government. And a majority of countries were founded on a specific religion. I mean, I'm not saying everyone that founded America was Christian, but a lot of people that founded America were Christian, just like a lot of people that founded Canada were also Christian, just like places in the Middle East were, founded on Islam, or Islam came into their government as a main point of, setting up their country. So yeah, I believe that, we have freedom of religion. You can be religious or not, but I believe, religion has always had some place in our government, because if it's freedom from or freedom of religion. So that means you don't have to be religious if you want, but if you want to be, you should have the right to. You should have the God-given right to. Hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Let's get to 100 likes. How about that? But that's my personal opinion. Trump has never violated the Constitution. Now, the Supreme Court, I will admit, the Supreme Court has struck down some of his things before and said that, they go against the Constitution, but he did not violate the Constitution by continuously doing these actions that the Supreme Court deemed unconstitutional. Yeah, I'm pretty sick. Why can't we just all agree on things? I mean, what can we agree on? There's some things that the Democrats and the Republicans can agree on. Most Democrats don't want open border. They don't want the pouring of illegal immigrants into this country. But at the same time, their immigration and deportation stance is much more liberal than mine. I'm going to defend them on a technicality? Yeah, I'll defend anyone on a technicality. I'm not a lawyer, but that's exactly what a lawyer would do. Jimmy Kimmel can exercise free speech. The entire thing was a publicity stunt. He got hired back yesterday at ABC. Oops. Sorry, I just pushed my table over a little bit. That's why the camera was shaking. We can agree you shouldn't put pineapple on pizza. No, I love pineapple on pizza. Don't vape, just getting over a cold. That actually is pretty funny, Burnett. I'll give it to you. That's a pretty funny joke. Everyone has heard about that Tylenol thing, right? Once again, bump stock ban was overturned by the Supreme Court, and Trump did not try to further enforce that. Also, Trump was mostly pressured from the administration to sign the bill. He's not the one that invented, the bump stock ban. He didn't write that bill. Someone else did. He was just extremely pressured to sign that bump stock ban. Are you a doctor? No. I haven't given any medical advice whatsoever. All I said was, did you hear about that Tylenol thing? Signing a bill is not endorsing something. I would have to see a clip of him, quote unquote, endorsing something. I'm not a doctor. Cite my sources for what? What specifically do I need to cite my sources for? He did not have to sign it. But looking back on it, does it really matter that he signed it or not? Because it got overturned by the Supreme Court. Everyone knows politicians can be pressured. How do I view Donald? I mean, that's a complex question. I'll just answer it quickly since this wasn't a super chat question. I view Donald as a strong leader for America, the strongest president in our lifetime. Someone said something about ignoring, comments or questions. I mean, I'm getting thousands of questions and comments this live stream. If there's something you want me to talk about, discuss, read out loud, drop super chats. That way your comment can get highlighted, everyone can see it. I won't be able to, it won't just brush by me. I saw someone in the comments say Hispanics for Trump. Hell yeah. What's your opinion on FRT triggers? I like them. I mean, to be honest with you, yeah, if you want anything with your firearm, I believe you should have it. I don't believe any restrictions on, any kind of firearm thing should be banned or should be restricted in any way whatsoever. I mean, yeah, people will argue, oh, it increases the rate of fire, yada, yada, yada. I mean, you can get a fully automatic license. It's just very difficult. Hell yeah. Keep an open dialogue and discourse. So if anyone wants to debate with me, anyone wants to talk with me, join my Discord, link in the bio. Trump loves the minorities, so I don't know what you're talking about. Let's just move the camera up a little bit. Sorry, guys. Just adjusting the tripod. DEI didn't earn it. No, hateful rhetoric and, hateful mainstream media is what caused Charlie Kirk's demise. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. Only men can kill men. Guns don't kill people. What are your thoughts on ICE? You know, they're doing a great job, but they should be deporting even more people. Yes, I'm wearing pants. Everyone spam down below. Charlie Kirk lives forever. I am Charlie Kirk. You are Charlie Kirk. I've never seen a gun load itself. Yes, I love Jesus Christ. Another quote that's being taken out of context. Charlie Kirk said we should not have empathy for people. What we should be giving them is sympathy, because that's what people really need. I'm sick and tired of people taking Charlie Kirk's quotes out of context because they don't like them. It's disgusting. Pick up a book or listen to his full videos. Like, holy cow. Redistricting is a really tough question, but if you want to get me into that, drop a super chat. It's always a quote taken out of context when the liberals can't prove their points with discourse and debate. They want to spam comments of quotes taken out of contexts. That's exactly why every single liberal that I've debated has lost. Even the more right-wing people that I have debated, they have lost. Not a troll. Disrespecting, a dead man's memorial is disgusting. You're going to have eternal karma for that. I'm not worshiping another man. Saying a quote is not a form of worship. But you liberals might know that if you ever actually picked up a Bible. This is not a debate. But if you guys have anything you want me to debate, talk about, discuss about, you can either drop a super chat or you can join my Discord and we can set up a live stream debate right on my channel right here. Can we get to 80 likes, guys? We're at 69 right now. Spam that like button. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. You avoid the real questions? No, I answer every single question that's a super chat. I don't have time to sit here and answer thousands of comments. I'm not Muslim. I only answer super chats unless they're really good comments and I manage to actually see them, because a lot of the comments fly by so fast, I don't even get the actual opportunity to read them. But if you want your comment highlighted in big blue bold letters, drop a super chat. It's that simple. Thank you. God bless you as well. I'm gonna get to work. Dems needs brains and God. Bless, bro. Bless you. Bless you. Where a super chat? It's this simple. You go into the comment section, you click the money sign, you type what you want, and boom, send it. God bless you, man. Have a great day at work, El Capone. Nothing is satire. I don't know how many times I have to say this. There's no paywall to debate me necessarily, but there's a long line of people in the Discord that want to debate. If you want to skip over that, you can skip over it with a super chat, like a $10 or $20 one. Thank you for the super chat. Moy Gennard. Much appreciated. L capitalist? You should try capitalism, brother. It's fun. It's the best system in the world. I love how you guys claim to hate RFK Jr. and you're just continuously quoting him. It's actually really funny. And so what if I was autistic? I thought, the Democrat Party was all about, inclusivity. Warriors of Christ like you. Love from Florida. Wow, much appreciated. I'm from Florida as well. Shout out Florida. Warriors for Christ. Hell yeah. I've been reading a bunch of new different Bible verses that, Charlie Kirk has actually inspired me to read, including some Bible verses about fighting against evil. I grew up, in the church and going to, I've been to different, Christian schools throughout my life. I'm actually Protestant, but I've went to evangelical schools before, just for like a year. But I've also gone to, Lutheran churches mostly all my life. I enjoy your channel. Great sense of humor. I really appreciate that. Wisconsin, Florida, we love you. Hell yeah. Much appreciated. If anyone wants to debate the Bible with me, I'm fully up to, debating the Bible and Christianity and religion. We can 100% do that. When I was younger, I was, debating all my life about Christianity and religion. And I'm not afraid to debate someone on religion and Christianity. The only thing that I don't appreciate is the Democrats. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, really, but this goes for everyone. But one thing I do not appreciate is people quoting the Bible and saying certain things and questioning someone's faith and religion and, trying to criticize someone using Bible verses and a religion that they don't even believe in. If you don't believe in Christianity and you haven't thoroughly, everyone has stuff they can learn about the Bible, but if you haven't thoroughly, read the Bible, if you don't believe in Christianity, then why would you, continuously quote Bible verses like you actually believe in them to, try to hypocrite burn someone or try to, manipulate them or make them think that they're wrong? You really have to look at the Old Testament versus the New Testament. Now, there's this whole thing that, the New Testament is the new law. But there's also Bible verses saying that stuff from the, I believe there's Bible verses, I forget the quote in the exact verse, but from what I've heard, there's some Bible verses that say, things from the Old Testament are also, still in use as well. But the New Testament is supposed to be the new law. And one thing I noticed specifically from people that are, hateful against, Christianity and, hateful against people that want to enforce the federal law of the country, they all seem to quote verses from the Old Testament, which is very, 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 very interesting, specifically from Leviticus. And Leviticus is one of the most, complicated parts of the Bible. I mean, there's entire, in-depth studies about the complexity of Leviticus. That's an interesting way to identify someone in the chats. I saw that message. Religious trauma and being hurt by the church. I'm sorry about your religious trauma and being hurt by the church, but just know there are, bad people out there. Not everyone that hides under, the moniker of being quote unquote a Christian is really a true Christian or really even believes in the Bible. Good morning from Florida. Hell yeah. Love to everyone in Florida. Sorry guys, just going to adjust the camera. Okay, there we go. Well, that's your opinion. I don't believe in paganism. I do know people that are pagan, but it kind of seems a bit, wild to me. Amen. God is using you. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Dominique. Oh, man, I'm still pretty sick. I love you all. God bless everyone watching this. I hope you're having a great Tuesday. Have a great day. Stay strong. That's an interesting comment, Harry. And don't worry, I hope you feel better. Me too, man. Me too. I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache. My ears are hurting. Everything is hurting, actually. Hell no, man. Trump 2032. You love the banner behind me? Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? History will remember your ignorance. Well, at least history will remember me. That's a nice thing to know. I don't know what ignorance you're specifying, but at least I'll be remembered. I'll keep all of you in my prayers as well, even if you're being hateful, rude, or mean. I appreciate that, Brittany. No offense, Godly, but you sound like, you're not even old enough to vote. Because when you get enough life experience, you will realize that miracles are real. Still doing this? I mean, what do you expect? You watch a lot of my live streams. You think I'm just going to quit? I mean, that's not going to happen. So what we have here is another trying to be a version of Charlie Kirk. I mean, to be fair, I've been doing this for, a long time now, and I'm not really, trying to be Charlie Kirk, but what I am trying to do is keep the legacy going of Charlie Kirk. I'm trying to talk about some of, you guys' criticisms of him, and I'm trying to keep his message alive, absolutely. But am I trying to be Charlie Kirk? No, I want to pave my own lane. I'm going to do things much differently. Love the support. Keep rocking on, bro. Love the vibe. Much appreciated. Actually, plenty of women love my MAGA gear, but I appreciate your comment. Let's ask the chat. Any women out there that like the MAGA gear? Come on. Come on. I'm not really tired. I'm just sick. My throat hurts. My ears hurt. I have a headache. But I'm still here for you guys. We will fight against evil. Lindsay, you don't even know my talking points. Sitting there commenting, being a troll. Real trailblazer in the troll community. Be careful, fellow patriot. Well, you be careful as well. Evil is rampant these days, bro. Rampant. We gotta stop the evil of the demon rat Barney. The people who criticize Charlie Kirk never show evidence of their claims. Sad, childish debates. Keep it up. Subscribe. Hell yeah. The answer is no to both of those things. I never had COVID once, and I never had that. Never. Zero whatsoever. No COVID. Traveled to over 20 countries. Traveled to over, 30 states. Never once did I get, the vid. And you're right, Mega Man. Zero. He's clearly faking being MAGA. That's an actual mugshot. I mean, you probably can't read what it says there, but it says not guilty. I, condemn racist organizations as such. Smash that like button, guys. Let's get to 100 likes. Can we get 100 likes? Yes, I know, because the flag is backwards. I turn the flag from this way to that way. So for me, it's actually backwards when I see this, but on camera, it's forward for you guys. And I know this is backwards for you guys, but you can still tell that it says Trump 2028. I'm from Florida. Spam the like button, guys. 100 likes, come on. I love that you guys keep quoting RFK Jr. at the same time that you hate him. It's absolutely hilarious. Jesus 2028. I have no clue what that means, but I'm a Christian man. But, Jesus cannot run for president. Excited to see the new ballroom? Hell yeah. I worship Jesus. I don't worship any man but Jesus. But Cece, if you want to go into an in-depth conversation about this, you can message me on Twitter or join my Discord. The link is in bio. Join my Discord if you want to talk, debate, be on the live stream. I am supporting legislation that helps the working class. Like Trump's big, beautiful bill. It lowers taxes for all. It's fantastic. Thanks for Trump for lowering my taxes. Worship is a strong word. I support Trump as the president of our country in the United States. But I worship Jesus. I'm a Christian man. Simple, Shane. The Constitution can be amended. We're almost to 100 likes, though. Smash that like and subscribe button. Should I have a Jesus poster, a picture that was depicted by man that isn't the true Jesus? I mean, it's fine if you have that. But if I had a Jesus photo, how do we know if that's what he looks like? That would just be the modern day interpretation of him. And why do I need a Jesus, thing up here? I mean, I'll put a cross or something up here, sure. But why do I need that when this is not a religious channel? Sure, we talk about Bible verses and we talk about Christianity, but this is not a religious channel. I mean, it's not a Bible class channel. See, you don't really care about me putting a cross here or putting some religious things up here or whatnot. Your main point is that you want me to get rid of this because you don't like Trump. It's not even about Christianity. Christianity is just the facade that you hide behind because you don't like Trump. That's very disingenuous. Jesus wouldn't like that. But we're almost to 100 likes, guys. Come on, spam that like button. I mean, you said multiple times negative things about Trump. You said you didn't like this, blah, 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 blah. What's wrong about having a political poster? If you were okay with Trump, you wouldn't be making any comments about it. This is a political debating channel and a discussion channel. Yeah, sure, we debate Bible verses and whatnot, but this is obviously a form of Trump derangement syndrome when you don't want someone to have a political poster. I'm not worshiping another man. You're not to push judgment on another man. If you were a Christian, you would know some things about the Bible, not just be, blowing smoke up other people's ass on YouTube. You're putting words in my mouth. You keep saying I worship a man. I don't worship any man. I worship Jesus Christ. You're the one that started putting words in my mouth. You don't know me. Good morning, sir. I love liberty and freedom. I'm blessed. I'm not cursed. Christ is Lord. Guys, one more like and we're at 100. You're going off my posters and my hat because you don't like Trump. You got Trump derangement syndrome. And if you don't like this, I don't give a damn. Trump is the president of the United States. Trump is your president. If you do like Trump, then please tell me what's wrong with the political poster. This is not a form of worship. Saying that you like a president is not a form of worship. You're a hypocrite. You're blowing smoke up people's ass on YouTube. And you're pushing judgment on other people. You should judge your own life. You should push yourself to do better for yourself. Instead of criticizing other people, first criticize yourself and ask yourself, how can I work harder? How can I improve my own life? Don't go around on the internet criticizing people all day that you don't even know. You don't know my values. You don't know my religious stance. You're literally just a troll. Judge yourself. By your comments, I don't think you worship anything, to be honest with you. If you're going to play this game with me, I'll play the game with you. The fact that you don't even know what worship is shows me the fact that you're probably not a true Christian. Yes, I'm triggered because you don't like Trump and you're pushing false narratives. I wouldn't even say triggered. I think it's just hilarious. You want to push false narratives. Would you like me to talk about Cuba? Drop some super chats, guys. Trump won. Trump is your president. I've never seen any true Christian that actually likes Trump have a problem with this. No, you don't like Trump. You can't. The Democrat Party can no longer hide behind the facade to try to validate their talking points. You cannot hide behind the facade of claiming that you like Trump. You cannot hide behind the facade of saying that you're Republican. At the same time, say very nasty things to people because they support Trump. No one believes you. No one believes you. No one believes you. You don't know what worship is? That's probably why you're not a true Christian. Last thing I'm going to say. If you guys have any comments, questions, anything you want to talk about, drop some super chats. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. If not, I'm probably going to hop off in 2 or 3 minutes. It's been a nice stream. No, I'm not angry. I have a very happy, beautiful life. The only people criticizing other people on the internet, leaving nasty comments, are the people that live in misery. Never once has a person living a successful, fulfilling life ever hopped on another person's, stream, social media account and criticized them. This is factual. Which power outage is where? It's the truth. What do you want me to talk about, Toxic Burns? I don't believe Kevin Durant is a truly happy person. He's successful, but he's not emotionally fulfilled, in my own personal opinion. Yup, that is right, Crystal. But I think I'm pretty much done with this stream. I'll wrap it up. But I encourage you, Cece, talk one-on-one with me. If you really want to get to know my values and what I stand for and what this channel is all about, I truly encourage you to join my Discord, which is link in the bio, or message me on Twitter. The only people that are salty are the ones leaving hateful, negative comments without getting to understand someone. God bless, man. Keep on going. I'll be streaming again in a couple hours. Take care, everyone. I won't, Dominique. I'm used to these kinds of comments, but it's just ridiculous. Have a good one, everyone. Peace out. See you guys in a couple hours. By the way, hit that notification bell. Like I said, join my Discord if you want to talk one-on-one, set up a live stream debate. I'm all for it. I'm all about debate and discourse. That's the only thing that prevents this country from going into civil war. Peace out, guys. Much love for everyone.